Across the globe, the enemies of Uncle Sam are on the march. And the biggest war of all is the culture war. Taking on these kinky-booted thugs demands a hero like no other. A man who will fight for America, for MAGA, and most of all, for his right to party. This is the daily showography of Pete Hegseth, Overserved with Honor. Pete Hegseth grew up in the Midwest, the most American part of America. He was the all-American boy, the varsity athlete who married his high school sweetheart, his best girl, who would then go on to be his second best girl, and then his third best girl. A family man through and through, he went through several families. It was at Princeton University that Pete first enlisted in the culture war.
I ran the conservative publication on our campus. We were like bomb throwing.
Fighting valiantly against the forces of diversity and gay, he championed traditional relationships between men and women, even if the woman is passed out drunk. I mean, technically, being unconscious is as anti-woke as you can get. After graduation, Hegseth joined the military, having given the matter careful consideration.
I didn't know the Army from the Marine Corps. I mean, I didn't know anything.
It was during a tour in Iraq that Pete learned to love the Army life.
And I said at the time, if I could have my wife here, I would stay in Iraq indefinitely. That was in a previous marriage.
Back home in 2012, he decided to serve his country in another way.
My name's Pete Hegseth, and I'm running to be your next United States Senator.
Sadly, it was not to be, and Pete dropped out of the race to spend more time with whichever wife and family he was up to by then. Honestly, it's hard to keep track. Instead, Pete landed a job as the head of a small nonprofit veterans group, which became even more nonprofit after he nearly drove it into bankruptcy. But don't worry, the money went to a good cause. Partying! That's right, like Captain America, Pete discovered his own super soldier serum.
I'd look around at 10 o'clock and be like, what am I going to do today? How would I drink? Some beers. How about I go have lunch and have some beers?
He was once again a man with a mission, and the stories of his exploits became legendary with the organization's HR department. Passing out in party buses, urinating on hotel lawns, leading a bar in chants of "kill all Muslims," and getting kicked out of a strip club for trying to dance on stage. Hegseth bravely led the Bacardi 151st through countless epic work trips, facing down fireballs, Irish car bombs, kamikazes, and never-ending shots. Eventually, his luck ran out, and Pete found himself dishonorably discharged from his nonprofit platoon. He was now almost completely without friends. Almost.
Come on up, Pete. You're next on Fox and Friends.
Fox News was the perfect deployment for a serious political thinker like Pete.
You want in on this?
No, I don't!
And he even got to see combat again. And while even Fox News had a few employees who quietly complained about Hegseth's habit of showing up drunk for work at 6 a.m., the network was mostly a perfect culture fit.
I've always wanted to do this.
Give it a good shake.
I will not be abstaining from alcohol. Maybe if I do well, I'll get a pint. A little bit of champagne. There you go.
I'm gonna get another refill. Hold on.
Champagne is my problem when it comes to hangovers. It's
But it
bad.
fixes the problem in the morning. Because then you have a little bit more champagne, and then your problem goes away.
Who better to fight terrorism than the only soldier who's been waterboarded with champagne? More importantly, Fox brought Hegseth back to the front lines of the culture war.
Well, Black Lives Matter, trying to destroy Christmas as we know it. It's actually not hyperbole.
Indoctrinating our kids, opening our borders, canceling individuals.
Wuhan virus, Chinese virus, maybe even the Kung flu. Apparently, there's new lesbian characters. It's a female empowerment. Can the Black Panther be played by a white guy?
With brain power like that, it was no wonder Hegseth decided he didn't need his grad school diploma anymore.
By the way, Harvard University, let's do that.
And there were still some challenges along the way. Like the time Hegseth was banned from an assignment with his National Guard unit because someone noticed what looked like a white nationalist tattoo. But soon, this recipient of 2 Bronze Stars earned the respect of America's greatest Bronze Star. During Donald Trump's first term, Hegseth was a passionate defender of veterans who had been convicted of crimes by the famously touchy-feely Pentagon.
Donald Trump pardoned a bunch of guys I advocated for. We need to fight total war against our enemies. And yeah, you don't kill civilians on purpose. But you kill bad guys, all of them. You stack bodies. If he committed premeditated murder, then I did as well. What do you think you do in war?
Put me in jail then.
Put us all in jail.
Yeah, who among us hasn't committed some light war crimes? And when Trump was reelected in 2024, he knew where to find a Secretary of Defense who was willing to get his hands dirty.
I don't think I've washed my hands for 10 years.
Pete had his plans for winning the culture war ready.
Any general that was involved, general, admiral, whatever that was involved in any of the DEI woke shit has got to go. I'm straight up just saying we should not have women in combat roles.
His confirmation seemed like a sure thing, but then an ambush.
Breaking news, the president-elect's team has been caught off guard by a sexual assault allegation against Pete Hegseth.
A whistleblower report that claims when Hegseth was president of Concerned Veterans for America, he was, quote, repeatedly intoxicated to the point of needing to be carried out of the organization's events.
You've got mail.
Hegseth's mother sent him an email in 2018 calling him, quote, an abuser of women.
The allegations of Hegseth's debauchery were overwhelming. Nothing now would be able to persuade the Senate that he was fit for...
I intend to support Pete. He made the pledge to me that he will not touch a drop of alcohol as secretary.
He offered up to me that he's not drinking, and that's not something he's going to do when confirmed here.
Oh, well, never mind then. And so America's war on woke is now truly ready to begin. With Pete Hegseth at the helm, the Department of Defense will finally have a true leader.
Maybe if I do well, I'll get a pint.
And one can only assume absolutely insane Christmas parties.